All right, today we're going to jump into a story about a farm deal that went sideways, way back in the 1800s. And I know it sounds like ancient history, right? But believe it or not, the legal fallout from this one little disagreement created a huge, unwritten rule that pretty much controls how we all make deals today.
But first, let me ask you this. Have you ever been in the middle of a negotiation, for a car, a new job, whatever, and you make a move and you get that sinking feeling in your stomach, that feeling that you just completely blew it? Yeah, we've all been there.
You see, every single negotiation we have, whether we know it or not, is playing by a set of invisible rules. And the story we're about to get into, well, it reveals one of the most important and honestly one of the most unforgiving of them all. It's the rule that can make a perfect offer just poof, vanish into thin air. So let's set the scene. It's 1840, and we've got two main characters in our story. A guy named Wrench, who's got a farm he wants to sell, and another fella, Hyde, who really, really wants to buy it. And it all kicked off with what seemed like a very simple, very clear offer. Now, the back and forth between them was super short, but every single step is absolutely crucial. You have the initial offer, then a counteroffer, a straight-up rejection, and finally, this kind of desperate attempt to salvage the whole thing. Let's walk through exactly what went down.
Okay, so Wrench makes his move. He sends a clear, what he calls a final offer to Hyde. He says, "You can have my farm for 1,000 pounds, period." At that moment, the deal is right there on the table, just waiting for a simple yes.
But Hyde doesn't say yes. He decides, he's going to push his luck a little, see if he can't get a better price. It seems totally harmless, right? Just a bit of haggling. But this is the exact moment where everything changes. So instead of just accepting that $1,000 offer, Hyde shoots back with his own proposal. He says, "Hey, I'll give you 950 pounds for it." He's not saying no outright, he's just changing the number.
And just look at the difference here. On the one hand, you have Wrench's original, clean offer. On the other, Hyde's response. Now, to you and me, that just looks like bargaining. But in the eyes of the law, what Hyde just did was way more permanent than just haggling.
Wrench immediately says nope to the 950 pounds. So Hyde, probably realizing his mistake, quickly backpedals. He says, okay, fine, I'll take your original offer of 1,000 pounds. He thinks, great, we have a deal. But Wrench refused to sell him the farm.
And this is the core of the whole problem. The $1,000,000 question, or I guess the 1,000-pound question. Hyde wants to accept the original offer, but did that offer even exist anymore? This whole mess ended up in court. So, the stage is set for this legal showdown, and the decision the court makes here would go on to become a pillar of contract law, creating a powerful idea that we now call the mirror image rule. And the court's decision was crystal clear. It ruled that Hyde's counteroffer of 950 pounds wasn't just a suggestion, it was an official, legal rejection of the 1,000-pound offer. It killed it. It extinguished it. The second Hyde made his new proposal, the old one was just gone, forever. So here's the bottom line. For an acceptance to actually count, it has to be a perfect mirror image of the original offer. If you change any of the terms, the price, the date, anything at all, you haven't accepted. You've made a brand new counteroffer, and by doing that, you've killed the first deal.
Think of it in 3 simple steps. First, someone puts an offer on the table. Second, you make a counteroffer, which legally acts as a full-on rejection of that first offer. And third, and this is the key, because it's been rejected, that original offer is completely off the table. You can't just circle back and try to accept it later. It's gone.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, cool story from the 1840s, but what on earth does that have to do with me? Well, it turns out this rule is quietly running in the background of some of the biggest negotiations you'll ever have. Think about it. A company offers you a job salary, and you come back asking for more, boom, their original offer's gone. You make an offer on a house that's less than the asking price, you just legally rejected their price. It's the same thing when you're haggling on Facebook Marketplace or bidding on a freelance gig. Every counteroffer is a rejection.
So if you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this. A counteroffer is a really powerful tool, for sure, but you have to understand that when you use it, you are slamming the door shut on the original deal, for good. There is no going back.
So that leaves us with this final thought. Now that you know the story of Hyde and Wrench, the next time you're looking at an offer, you know the stakes are real. So what are you going to do? Accept it as is, reject it and walk away? Or Make that one final counteroffer, knowing the original deal will vanish the second you do.